On December 24, 1991, during the midst of a particularly severe Arctic storm, an aircraft vanishes without a trace. More than 150 individuals are aboard, received no reply. 30 years down the road, a horrifying revelation is made by scientists. Their discovery, shattering the ice, casts doubt on our understanding of nature and the fate of Flight TR-2119 survivors. It wasn't just them. As the world's population got ready to celebrate Christmas in 1991, 150 individuals, including crew and passengers, boarded Flight TR-219 in the afternoon of the 24th. The aircraft, a dependable commercial aviation model, departed from Anchorage, bound for Ruik, Iceland. There were a lot of people on board, and for some, it was simply a flight home. However, they would never get where they were going. Despite the harsh weather, TR-219 took off. Biting winds and persistent snow fell from the skies as one of the worst storms of the decade made landfall in the Arctic. Captain Daniel Henderson last spoke with air traffic control at 11:15 p.m. The once firm and experienced tone of his voice had taken on an urgent quality. Severe instability. 2 engines broke out. An important height. Right away. The gearbox suddenly stopped working. The controllers on the other end made an effort to answer. Over and over, they dialed 219. No sound. Received no reply. During the subsequent minutes, the plane's frantic movements were captured on radar as it was whipped around by the strong winds. Thereafter, Flight TR-219 vanished around 11:17 p.m. No signal. No sign. Nothing more than a blinking dot on the screen. All aboard, the jet had disappeared beneath the merciless Arctic ice cap. One of the biggest search activities of that period was initiated after TR-219 went missing. A huge sweep of the plane's trajectory was launched the day following the disappearance by rescue personnel. On the other hand, the Arctic was hesitant to part with its secrets. Each square kilometer of the frozen ocean was searched by 8 specialist aircraft and 4 icebreakers. As divers fought the bitter cold in a last-ditch effort to locate the airliner, helicopters swept across outlying regions. However, ice seemed to have engulfed TR-219. No objects in the air. Radar showed no signal. Disaster alerts were not sent out. Hope started to wane as the days grew into weeks. Extreme cold made it hard to keep search crews on the ground for lengthy periods of time, and constant snowstorms obliterated any potential clues. The Arctic displayed its harsh side. The month-long rescue mission had finally come to an end. Flight TR-219 was lost. Reports referred to the case as the Bermuda Ice Triangle. Aviation experts were at a loss. How could a whole plane vanish without a trace? Conjectures emerged. Some thought the jet was already wrecked when the storm hit. Some speculated that TR-219 may have sunk beneath the icy waters, engulfed by the weight of the ever-shifting snow and ice. Still, nobody could put their finger on it. Why were the emergency signals not activated if the plane actually did crash? The Arctic seemed destined to keep the TR-219 mystery under wraps indefinitely, until an unforeseen event occurred 30 years later. January 2024, 3 decades following TR-219's disappearance. This mystery in aviation history was now but another one in the archives. However, everything changed after an unplanned discovery on a quiet night in Anchorage, Alaska. Renowned Arctic climate change expert Michael Blackwood noticed something while reviewing satellite images. An unexpected metallic reflection emerged in data from a military satellite amidst the enormous ice sheets. Despite its deep burial, the object's shape made it obvious that it was man-made. For a while, Blackwood thought it might be pieces of a sunken warship or a reconnaissance vessel. However, new thermal photos were brought into the lab by Amanda, a teenage radar specialist. The investigators' spirits plummeted. "You have to see this." The photos showed a huge metal item under the ice. But that wasn't the most unsettling part. All around them, thermal patterns revealed a system of almost flawless paths, as if the area had been traversed many times over the years, leaving deep impressions in the ice sheets. According to TR-219, the item's measurements were spot on. An improbable event had transpired. We located the missing jet. The word spread throughout the scientific and governmental communities quite fast. An unprecedentedly huge Arctic expedition was organized in just a week. Recovering the remnants of TR-219 before the spring thaw wiped them out forever was a perilous effort that involved heavy helicopters, drilling vehicles, and hundreds of specialists. Time was a relentless adversary. As time went on, the ice became increasingly fragile due to the rising warmth. Still, scientists were in the dark about one issue, and no satellite image could explain it. In that cold wasteland, the plane wasn't the only one. What they would find there would contradict all their knowledge of the natural world. Getting the wreckage of TR-219 out of the Arctic before it was gobbled up by the ice was the first goal of the trip. However, the moment they reached the spot shown in the satellite photos, the researchers noticed something was off. An animal behaviorist named Catherine Walsh was the first to notice. Something is wrong with the fauna here. Initially, the clues were small, footprints dispersed across the ice. Unlikely prints left by wolves or polar bears. It seemed like they belonged to a large cat. That couldn't be. Up north, lynxes didn't exist. They could never reach that size, regardless of whether they migrated or not. The first indicators of reality emerged around dawn on the fourth day, when the blizzard subsided and the northern lights' pink glow bathed the camp. 3 figures stood on top of an ice ridge, observing the researchers' every move. 3 enormous lynxes, their coats so white they hardly showed through the snow. 2 cubs, nearly adults, and their mother. They persisted. Neither did they launch an assault. As they watched the team's every action, they remained perfectly still. While the researchers resumed their journey, the lynxes stayed close by, keeping an eye on things. Afterward, an even more peculiar event transpired. The cats showed up at the same time every day to patrol the area surrounding the dig. At other times, they would make circular motions in the snow, as if attempting to signal something. This hunch became a certainty on the night of the first event. The massive generator started to topple over, as an unexpected swoop of wind broke off a section of its main structure, sending it tumbling in Amanda's direction. Rushing was futile. As if on cue, the mother lynx sprang from the snow and nearly avoided Amanda, her swift action shining like silver lightning in the night. With a thunderous thud, the generator sank into the icy earth where Amanda had stood only moments earlier. Shock spread across the entire camp. Amanda met the lynx's intense gaze as she continued to breathe heavily. And for an instant, she was certain of what she perceived. On purpose, she rescued me. Everyone got it right then. The lynxes did not appear by accident. It was clear to them. Their primary objective was to serve as a warning. That ice was unforgiving. The crew, nevertheless, persisted through the perilous circumstances. They excavated, used cutting-edge machinery to melt the ice, and then pumped out the water to prevent it from freezing again. Significant progress was made at first light on the 7th day. The plane's tail jutted out of the snow, its metal distorted by the passage of time, yet still easily identifiable. The worn-out airline emblem displayed on the fuselage validated the widespread suspicions that had previously been held. TR-219 was located, but there was a problem. Among those who noticed first was Amanda. In and around the debris, the ice was uneven. It appeared as though it had been continually trodden upon for many years. The plane seems to have been followed for a long time. Additionally, the lynxes made a triumphant return. At first light, they began their stealthy ascent through the snow. Their vigilance over the excavation had only grown. The cats started acting abnormally as soon as the researchers lowered themselves into the debris. As if attempting to signal something, they made significant scratches on the ice in several areas. In particular, what? Guess what? Nobody had a clue. But then, amid the icy chairs, unfilled coffee cups, and scattered belongings as if time had froze, the most unsettling finding was found. A notebook was snugly tucked away in the pocket of one of the first-class seats, shielded from the biting cold. Everyone was reluctant to read the contents of stewardess Sarah Parker's diary. The 25th of December, 1991. The holiday season. So far, just 28 out of 150 have managed to stay alive. In charge of the shift schedule and food delivery is Captain Henderson. No, we have company. There are sounds outside. Those aren't wolf-like creatures. Some other entity is keeping tabs on us. November 27th, 1991. A chill of minus 52 degrees Celsius was felt. The night was fatal for 4 individuals. We embraced one another in an effort to stay warm, but then something unexpected happened. At the plane's entry, we spotted 2 young Arctic hares, our fresh prey. Like someone had abandoned them just for us. The people there seemed to anticipate our need for their services. Friday, December 30th, 1991. On a nightly basis, the lynxes visit. Their eyes light up at night, yet we're not scared anymore. We are not hunted by them. They keep us safe. 1st of January, 1992. 12 of us are still standing. As we succumb to the chill, they remain steadfast. I was fed tonight by the mother lynx. As Maria passed away, I witnessed her sitting by her side, providing warmth through her own body. Tuesday, January 10th, 1992. There is no one else but me. There are still bobcats in the area. In the dark, they lead me to the ice's protected passages. I've overcome my fear. Plus, I've finally overcome my chilly feelings. Even though the lines quavered and the last page bore the marks of time, one statement stood out. No one should die alone in this white silence. As Sarah Parker's last remarks were read, the entire camp went silent. This was not a dying woman's deceit. To top it all off, the lynxes seemed to have remembered everything that had happened since the beginning. Every member of the expedition felt the impact of Sarah Parker's remarks. In that frozen wasteland, TR-219 was not the only one. They discovered that compassion transcends species barriers here in the Arctic ice, a permanent record of the lives lost and the miraculous beings who guarded them. There are still lynxes. Sightings of these mysterious beings have been reported on rare expeditions. Silent, evasive, and ever-present, they shift like shadows. Is this story something you can relate to? Was it a mere accident that the lynxes were protecting TR-219, or did they actually guard the location? Post your thoughts down below. We're interested in hearing from you. Also, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and bell icon to make sure you don't miss a video if you enjoyed this Arctic mystery.